Hi everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hello, hello, hello everyone. Hi everybody. Hi everyone. Hi Shantea. Oyindamola. Hi everyone. Welcome to Dr. Iyabo. This. Okay, yeah, sorry. I got some notification on my phone. Hello everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Welcome everyone. I have the McIntyres today. I'm so excited. This is a couple. Actually, it took me a while to discover her other half, Michael, but I'd been following her for a while and I just love her family. I think the pediatrician in me is always just in love with families, with kids, and just seeing everybody looking so happy. So yeah, I love Shantae's page and what she stands for. So I'm so excited to have both of them here today. And Shantae is already on. They're both on already. So I think we'd better just start because you guys know that 1 hour goes away so fast. So if everybody can hear me, can you please just give me a thumbs up or give me some hearts just so that I know you can hear me. And I prayed before I started today that technology just cooperates because you know how it is. Simi, thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring the McIntyres on now. Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us on Teatime. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you making the time. I know you guys are busy because every time I look at your feed, either of you, you're always either somewhere, traveling somewhere or doing some shoots or something. So thanks so much for making the time.
Yes, and thanks for accommodating. We had to do a little bit of a schedule change today.
Yes.
We are in between shoots. We have a shot this morning and then we've got to finish the photo shoot this evening. So thank you for allowing that schedule change.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have a beautiful family. Honestly, every time I see your page, I was telling the viewers that I think it's the pediatrician in me because every time I see you and your kids, I'm just so happy. You guys always look so vibrant and happy. And I know with families, there's always challenges.
Oh, for sure.
But I can tell that you guys are genuinely happy and you genuinely make the best of family life. Yeah. So that's why I'm so happy to have you on today. So we're going to talk about marriage, but we're also going to help the singles as well. Because I just departed from the single life to marriage, as you know, a few months ago, and I have many single women that follow me. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves to our viewers, and then we can just start.
Sounds good. And if it does, I'm on the Wi-Fi, and I picked the best spot. So if it's shot, if it goes in and out, just work with us. But I'm Shantea. I'm a proud mother of 4. This is my incredible husband, Michael. We're college sweethearts. We have 4 children on purpose and together. And we have we're just your regular family, really, at the end of the day. But part of what I guess makes us unique in that we're regular is we did adopt our son. We're infertility survivors. We had a lot of trouble getting pregnant after our first daughter. And so we went the route of adoption and, we really are just trying to make the best of every day. Life is so precious, so precious.
Yeah.
And so just trying to make the best of every day.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Michael, do you want to give us a few words?
Well, she already, she hooked everything up for me. The only thing that she mentioned, I am a firefighter. I think that would be the only extra thing to add. I mean, like she said, family of 4, we adopted. College sweethearts, all that good stuff.
Okay, wonderful. So all your 4 kids are adopted?
Just one. We had
just
a daughter, adopted a son. Yes.
Okay. So your infertility time, and I think that's good because I'm sure there's some people who may be going through infertility or who know somebody who is going through it. So if you can tell us just a little bit about that. What time, when did you go through the infertility with which kid?
We had Matea, our oldest daughter, with no problem at all. And then when we went to try for another baby, there was a 4-year gap in between our first and our next pregnancy. And in the meantime, we had tried several things. We had 2 surgeries. We both had tested to see where the infertility was coming from. I was the culprit. I have a polycystic ovarian syndrome and endometriosis. We did the HCG shots. We did the Clomid. We did the progesterone. We did everything short of in vitro, because at the time we just didn't have the budget for in vitro fertilization. But the doctor said after my second surgery that if we didn't get pregnant in 6 months, we weren't going to get pregnant, and we didn't get pregnant in 6 months.
No, we didn't.
So we began the process of adopting our son and adopted him, and then shortly after got pregnant.
Okay. So your first was just the normal one, normal conception, easy. And then the second one is when you had trouble. Yes. And it's funny, your kids they're all different shades of brown.
Yes. Chocolate, beautiful melanin.
Yeah, because I see some of your posts brown where you do comments about that.
Black hair.
Yes. Yeah, you have a daughter who's really dark. Who's dark. And what position is she? Is she your first?
The first one.
She's the first one. Okay.
Yes.
So she has more of Michael's genes, I think. Right? Because you're fairer. Yeah. So you guys, if you don't follow them, please make sure you follow Shantae and Michael. They have wonderful pages. I follow Shantae a lot. I'm going to start following Michael also, but they have such an inspiring page and feed. Okay, so let's just dive in, because 1 hour is going to fly by. So the first question I have for you is, and either of you can go. The title of the show today is How Married Couples Can Keep Saying I Do. So how can married couples keep saying I do? I just got married in April. I want to keep saying I do to my hubby. So tell all of us, how can we keep it alive?
The way you keep saying I do is just understanding that you are in a partnership, you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship with somebody, and it takes two. So, to make that work, sometimes you have to step back from yourself and see what the other person is looking for, what their aspirations are, and continue to say, okay, this is your turn to do this. Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, so meaning you have to know, you don't just care for yourself. You have to think about what the other person needs to be able to thrive in the marriage. And do you guys do that consistently?
I think we try. So one thing that I would add is that we have said, this is it. Like it or leave it, up or down. I will cut you if you leave me. You know?
Yeah.
And so
that's good though. That's good.
But when you know that, you make accommodations. If you have a way out of something, I mean, you find a way out. But when you know this better work, then you really work hard to make it work. And so we do a lot of checking in, like, hey, I noticed your body language hasn't been all that positive. What's going on? Or is there something that I could be doing differently? Or, we travel a lot. So sometimes on a road trip, it's a nice time to sort of check in and say, how you doing? No, for real. How you doing? You know? And
yes.
I think
and she did that last week on our last road trip. So yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Important if we're going to continue this, which we will forever, that we allow room for each other to sort of, change our own personalities and go down this different path of who we are in life, but not ever go in a separate direction. Like I might be in this, but like I'm still tethered to you. So how can we make our life journey one journey?
That is wonderful. So communication, open communication. So you both understand that you have to be able to communicate.
I started on my. Go ahead.
No, you both know that you have to be open with communication, right?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
I was going to say that last month, or probably about a year ago, I made this challenge up about a 30-day sex challenge. And it's basically the goal is to have sex every day for 30 days or some sort of intimacy, right? Like be connected to your partner.
That sounds exciting. Yes.
Right? But the funny thing was that I checked with my husband last time. He's like, you know what I hate? And I was like, what do you hate? And he's like, the 30-day sex challenge. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I didn't expect him to say that. But it was, had we not done a check-in, I would have never known. I think because, we haven't got a perfect score yet. And I think the anticipation of getting a perfect score has made me a little frustrated.
Yes.
And so, but I didn't know that, right? And so had I not paused long enough to ask him, or had I not given him a forum to say what's going well, what's going not well, then he wouldn't have been able to have the space to say that. So
But when in your go ahead, Michael. Yeah.
I wouldn't have just came out and said, "Hey, stop doing that 30-day sex challenge because it doesn't work." You know what I mean? So
yes, yeah.
Because she does feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, what's going on? Like, how's everything going? Is there anything that's like that?" Gave me the okay to express how I was really feeling about it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So you guys give each other the ability to be able to communicate openly. Yeah, you're open. Some couples don't do that. One may be the one who likes to communicate, and the other one doesn't like to talk much. They don't want to share their, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm fine. Yes. But you guys have agreed that you're both going to be open. But when in your marriage did you decide that?
I'm so glad you asked that, because that wasn't at the beginning, for sure. I think that we've been married for 14 years now. And so, and so that, I would say that's been the last 3 years, actually, that we've been able to really talk more openly. At the beginning, for me, I was more worried, like, he's gonna leave me. He's gonna get over me. He's gonna think that, you know, I'm not that cute anymore. I've got fat. I'm pregnant. My nose is big. It's gonna, you know, or I'm grouchy.
You're beautiful, Shantea. You're stunning.
Right?
But you're beautiful. You're stunning. You're a model. How can you say that?
People cheat on Holly Berry. People cheat on really beautiful women all the time. So
true. Yeah, true. But it's not all about beauty. It's also about what you have inside. Yeah.
But early in our marriage, I was a little more insecure about that than I am now. Not that he gave me any reason to feel that way, but it was just like, when is this fairy tale going to end? I know this bubble is going to burst. What am I going to do to make you leave me? Sort of thing is how I felt.
Yeah, I remember you did say that, like, especially like our first year, like right before we got married and right after we got married, she would just like have this like nervous look all the time, and I'm like, what's going on? She was like, am I doing things right? Am I like what? Am I saying things right? Am I doing things right? Yeah.
What were your backgrounds? Were your parents married?
When we took that vow, we said be for.
No, go ahead, Michael.
No, mine were divorced within the first year of me being born. And
my parents divorced my freshman year in college.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was only asking that question because of your uncertainty, because I found that people who are from divorced homes often have that uncertainty. They're like, is that going to happen to me as well? I don't want it to happen. I saw all that. So yeah, I was just curious. But go ahead, Michael, you were saying something.
You know what? And to keep that in mind, that's one of the reasons why I always said that once I get married, I will always be married, and I'll do whatever it takes to make it work, because I know what my mom went through and what I went through as a kid with my dad not being in the house, and I didn't want that for my wife or my kid. So.
Very nice. So guys, everybody, welcome to the show. So now you can see how you can learn from your past.
Yes.
You don't have to have a generational curse like people say, because people are like, if you come from a divorced home, it's likely you'll get divorced. But you can learn from your past and then use that to improve your life and the lives of your kids. It's like people who were born in poverty and they're the most hardworking. They're now the richest and wealthiest because they saw what their parents went through and they don't want to go through that. So guys, every generation of our lives should be getting better. We have to put that in mind. And that's what I say. I'm like, okay, I'm doing well, but I want my kids to even do better. And I want my grandkids to even do better. So that's how we pass it on. So I always reject any kind of talk about generational curses because you don't have to accept it. You can, you can do better. So everyone, welcome to Tea Time with Dr. Iyabo. Please ask questions. There's a wonderful, beautiful couple here with us. So you married people and single, just let's keep this fun and let's just ask questions. So if you ask questions, I will stop and make sure I ask them. Okay, so how do we keep saying I do? Open communication is one that they've told us. So Michael and Shantea said they look out for each other, they check in with each other, they ask if they see that something isn't going right, they do it on road trips when they're a bit more settled. So you have to check in with your partners, even if he or she doesn't want to tell you, maybe wait a couple hours and then go back and maybe try and give him a shoulder rub or kiss him on the forehead or something. Or she does that.
She does that because there are moments where she's like, "Hey, babe, what's wrong? I noticed your body language. What's going on?" And I'm like, "No,
Yes.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine."
Yes.
And I don't know how to explain or express what I'm feeling at the moment. But she does a really good job at always coming back to it, like you said, about an hour later. "Hey, babe, are you sure?" And that's when I'm able to.
And I'll even say, "This is your last talk."
Yeah, she will.
Because I've given you 2 chances to talk, and so if you say now, you need to just let it go. Because early in our marriage could be like, "Remember 3 years ago when you did this? Well, you keep doing that." And I'm like, I didn't know that I was doing that 3 years ago, you know. So anyway, now when I catch him being a little cold, I'm like, all right, what's happening? So
you guys laugh a lot together, don't you? Do you laugh a lot, even at home?
We do. Mostly at each other.
Yeah. We
Sorry,
do
the
laugh
kids are
at each other
downstairs.
home.
Sorry, the kids are in the cabin with us.
Oh, that's fine. I can tell that you guys laugh a lot together. I can tell that it's authentic and it's real. And laughing is another thing. I believe that laughing and just being easy to, you don't have to take everything seriously. Like something you just said about, oh, he would say 3 years ago when something happened. Some people will take that personally. Some people will say, oh, why are you bringing the past? Can't you just get over it? Why are you bringing up what happened 3 years ago? But you guys are laughing about it.
No, so I can laugh right away. Let's be real. No. We can laugh now. Yeah. Then it would be like 2 years.
But you've been improving.
Yeah.
But you've been trying to improve. You've been trying to improve each other. Okay, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Michael like the 30-day sex thing?
You want me to be honest? Okay. The reason why I don't like it, and so she says 30-day sex challenge, and for what, 3 years you've been
trying to have 30-day perfect.
So and I understand like that's not gonna happen every single day. But when we go a week or two during that sex challenge that we are not intimate, it's like, don't say this is a 30-day sex challenge if it's been over a week or a week and a half of us being intimate.
Because we always start strong. We're like, woo!
Yeah. I would say like the first maybe 5 days are on point. After that, she's like, I'm done. No, I need a break.
But wait, that's not fair. First of all, he's a firefighter. So about 5 days is all I get consistently, and then he's gone for 2. I would give myself more than 5 days. I think you're under-exaggerating.
Okay.
5 days.
And as a good husband, I have learned to just agree.
It seems like Shantea is the initiator. Are you the one who usually initiates sex? My young stepsons are upstairs, so I don't want to shout.
Yeah. I would say I am.
She does most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it's been a while, I'm like, all right, this has been too long. Like, all right, I'm gonna rub your back for a second. I'm gonna get a little closer to you. Yeah.
So do you ever say no?
Somehow I conditioned him to be gun shy. I don't know what I did in the past, but I feel like if I don't initiate, it's not going to happen. And I don't know how to reverse that. Like, I don't know how to get it. Because when we were unmarried.
No, even after we were married, I would say about 2 years into the marriage, that's when it started to kind of.
Yeah, I don't know how to mix it. Yeah. So I know if I don't initiate, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so does Michael ever say no? Since you are the one who initiates most of the time, he never says no. Okay, do you ever say no to each other? Do you?
We could be upset with each other, and if she initiates, I'm like, yes, babe, okay, let's go.
Okay.
He doesn't initiate often for me to say no, so I don't. Do I say no?
No, she's never said no before.
Okay.
No.
So that's another gem, people. That's another thing. Try not to say no, because I did go to a conference last year where there was a pediatrician like myself, but she kind of specializes in, I'm going to use the word S. I'm just going to say S because my stepsons are upstairs. So, so she said with S, try not to ever say no, even if you're tired or exhausted. If your partner wants S, just say yes. Just and that day for me, I wasn't married
I like
then. I
that.
hadn't remarried then, but I learned that, and that's really, really important. And I practice that now, and it actually makes it better. It actually makes it better if you never say no, because the other person appreciates that you know, you are not saying no. So it's like just, it's nice because you keep saying yes. So get people that
Yeah,
are out there, try not
initiated,
to say no.
yeah, yeah. Once
Yeah.
it's initiated, both parties already know it's gonna happen. So yeah.
Yes, yes, wonderful. Okay, so let me see. We've discussed a lot of things that I didn't even write down. I knew this was going to be like this. Okay, let me ask you a question though. You met in school, in high school or
In
college?
college.
In college. How old were you then?
I was 20 and she was
When we met, but we started dating when I was 22 and he was 24.
4. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, you weren't too young. I met my first husband, my ex-husband, when I was 17 and he was 21. So anyway, let me use you as an example though. How do you advise people at that age? How do you know that this person is your soulmate at that age when you're that young? How, because now that you're older, it's easier to figure that out. But at that age, how do you know?
At that age, I would say my number one advice is get to know the person and be yourself.
But wait, you said you knew I was going to be your wife the very first day. You didn't know
You
me.
don't have to call me out like that. No. So I did. I knew it on the first day, but there was a process of her denying her love for me, and me falling for her without even dating. We had never even exchanged phone numbers or anything for what, a year and a half, 2 years almost. But once we did, we had already established a friendship that was just amazing. I knew exactly who she was as a person. I knew what her beliefs were. I knew what some of her goals were. And just as friends, we established a really good relationship that I was like, you know what? I know I can live the rest of my life with this girl.
Ah, wonderful. I hope I don't cry during this show. That does help though. I wrote these things down, Michael, as you were talking. You knew what her beliefs were, and you knew what her goals were. That's so important. Yeah. That's really, so if you're listening to this and you're still single, you better write it down like I wrote it down. You need to know what the other person's beliefs are, and you need to know what their goals are, because this is where, you know, conflict happens in marriage. When you get married and then you discover, oh gosh, his goal is that, or he wants to move to another country to live, or he wants to do, you know, and then you're like, how didn't I see all this? So you guys were friends first. You got to know each other first as friends before you put the romance in there, before you put the S in there, right?
Yes.
So did you wait for marriage before S?
No, the truth is we didn't wait till marriage, but he's my only.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But she was, she had.
I was waiting, but didn't wait.
But he
was my only guy.
But we did wait for about a year at least.
Was it a year? I thought it was longer, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we
waited.
So
after you started dating, you waited for 1 year.
Yeah, at least
a year. After you started dating, why? Why did you do that?
Because the goal actually was to make it to marriage. Was the goal.
And
we just made it.
And with me knowing that her goal was to wait until she got married, I was okay with that. So it just so happened.
I think we just didn't set good enough boundaries. I think we started off strong where if your goal is to not have sex before marriage, or S as you were calling it, you really can't do sleepovers. Like he's got to be gone by a certain hour. And we were really good at that at the beginning, but as we got more comfortable in our relationship, it was just like, just stay, you know? But I remember one of my teammates in college, her mom would say, the only thing open past midnight is legs. I remember her saying that. And there's so much truth to that. And so I really should have just been kicking him out of my apartment at midnight. But that was our downfall. But even still, he was my only, and I'm very proud of that. But I do wish we would have. I think when we realized I'm going to marry you, you're going to marry me, and it was just a matter of time thing, it felt like, why
we're
not?
just going to go. We're just going to go ahead and do this.
That's nice. So when you started dating today, and you waited for 1 year before you did S.
Yeah, it wasn't like some ceremonial, like we've been together for a year.
Yeah. But that's impressive. I'm so impressed by that though. Did you have sleepovers? Did you spend, I didn't quite get that part. Did you spend the nights at each other's?
Oh, for sure.
We did,
before, yeah. We even would go out of town together. We went to Vegas probably a month into dating.
Yeah. And stayed in the same room for 2 or 3 nights. We went, she took me on this trip for my birthday a few months after that, and stayed in the hotel, and we were
wow. And I honestly feel that's part of why you're still so strong, and that's why you're still so heavily committed to each other. I really feel that, because it just shows that wasn't the primary thing for you. You guys were with each other for something deeper than us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it wasn't about us at all.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah, for sure.
This may not mean a lot to you, but people who are listening, this actually, to me, it means a lot, because it means that you valued each other so much, and you knew there was so much that you could do in life together, and that the S would come later on, and you were willing to wait, especially for a guy. Especially for Michael, I really do want to. I really do. All the women up here, can you give Michael a high five or thumbs up? Honestly, because we'll have to come back another day to talk about another topic. But there's not many men that can wait 1 year. There's not.
Well, he didn't really have a choice, honestly. Like my intro was like, "Hi, I'm Shantae. I'm waiting to have sex till I'm married." Are you open to that? You know,
honestly,
that's how I hit every guy I was dating.
And one of my friends said here, she said, "You guys are too hot to have even waited 1 year."
No, we totally. I'm actually, that's so funny, because I was actually really embarrassed to say out loud that we didn't make it to all the way to our marriage. Like, I was feeling a little bit of shame, like, you
shouldn't be ashamed.
I would say that 95% of relationships.
I know, but it was the goal. The goal was to not.
So ladies, make sure your beliefs and your goals align with your future partner. Don't look at your future partner's bank accounts. Women, I put this on my post all the time. It's not about his bank account. It's about whether your beliefs and your goals align. Because if you're looking for
I have a great story. One of my favorite.
Something else you're gonna have to give.
Yes, when I first started dating Mike, when I first started dating Mike, my grandfather gave me money for a car, and so I bought a really sweet Sebring convertible.
I don't know where you're going with this.
And Mike used to drive. He used to be on the bus, right on the bus, and so he used to be so embarrassed, and I didn't think anything of it, that he would be on the bus stop when I would be like top down, like waving at him, because we were still friends at this point. And I'd be like, "Hey, Mike, what's up?" And we're like, "Honk, honk." Like,
and I'm sitting on the bus stop, like, "Oh, here she comes." I hope she doesn't see me. And I have my bike with me on the bus stop, because I live kind of far away from the school. So.
And I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't even any shade. I definitely wasn't gonna invite him in the car, because we weren't even close like that. But I liked you. You know, you were like a nice guy. So I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Mike?" So anyway, when we first got married, we were so broke. So broke. I remember we used to eat ham and like bologna sandwiches. The ham with the little like plastic on the outside, you know, that you have to like tear off. And he would get 2 slices and I would get 1 slice. And we'd eat that for breakfast and lunch. And then we would like actually cook like a dinner. Yeah, like
some broccoli and chicken.
No, it was our go-to was rice-a-roni.
Rice-a-roni, you're right. I forgot about that. That's right.
And then, but anyway, he used to have. I knew that I made the right decision to marry Mike when he had this job that his job was to literally clean the bathrooms, and he would come home with so much pride in cleaning these bathrooms. Like he would just say, "Babe, you should have seen that bathroom before I got there. When I left, that bathroom was so spotless. And before I got there was poop all over it. And babe, like he was just like going on and on. And I'm looking at this man like, I made the right choice." Because I didn't know very many people who would take so much pride in doing such a small thing. And I definitely felt like validated, like, here we go. This is the right choice. And I hope, as every marriage, that we are definitely not in the same part where we started. Like, we are definitely not eating ham and cheese sandwiches anymore. Thank the Lord. We have definitely graduated from that. But the work ethic that I saw in him then is still present now. And, you know, the same ambition that he knew of me when I was 22, 21 is still in me now. And so even
multiply,
we are, you know, if this was a graph, you know, we were this person here and very much this person now. We have, as a side note, it breaks my heart when people say we've grown apart. Because of course you grew apart a little bit. You're not the same person here that you were there. But with all of that, we are still very much committed, and the foundation of who we are, like the essence of who we are, is still the same person. And we work really hard to find that person, because he could very well be like I wasn't really that into like beauty and doing my hair and all that. And he could be like, you've changed. Well, a little.
because she was. We were both college athletes. We both played basketball. So she wasn't necessarily the girly. She was more like, hey, yeah, let's get out on the court, and that's what I love to do. But she hates it now, and it's like, well, I mean, she's doing something different, so now I have to change how I feel about what her new goals and her new ambitions are, and be on board with it.
Because we evolve. Everybody evolves, and you have to know that with your partner, that your partner is going to evolve, and you have to understand that. But you guys knew that from the beginning. Yeah, you knew that your life was going to evolve. You talked about your beliefs and your goals. Many women don't talk about this. When they meet men, they don't. Women usually just look for a provider. And my goal is to change that in women's mindsets, because that's not the way to be happy. If you're just looking for a man who's going to, not that men shouldn't be providers, but I think partnerships work better. That's why your husband came home and he was cleaning top bathrooms and he was proud of it. He was humble. I mean, I did all the jobs I could do then. I worked at McDonald's. I worked in old people's homes where I was cleaning all the waste and everything. You do what you have to do. But somebody said here that, yes, grow together. So I'm reading all their comments, and then I love the way you guys are so transparent. Women need to talk. Yes. So women need to start talking more about what are your beliefs? What are your goals? How are we going to grow together? How are we going to evolve together? How are we going to change the world together? I'm not even sure women ask men that how are we going to change the world together? They're just wanting to, what car do you drive? Where do you live? Where do you work? I was reading
a post
the other day.
The other thing is, when you talk about those things in the beginning, make sure you continue that conversation throughout your relationship or throughout your marriage, because even now we still go back, and she's like, okay, like, so we're sitting in the cabin right now up in Big in a certain area. I don't want to say like where we're at, but we're sitting in the cabin right now, and she's like, hey, we were sitting downstairs just a few minutes ago, and she's like, this is what we need. This is so comforting to be able to sit here with our kids. Now, when we go home, we can have somebody else come in and rent this out as an Airbnb. So like her mind is always thinking about what our next goal is. And we talk about that stuff all the time. So it's not just when you are learning that person, make sure you continue to learn that person throughout your whole life.
Yeah. And I would say, I would add to the whole idea of a guy and how to figure out a good guy, because there was a little bit of me when we were poor, not gonna lie, that was like, why didn't I marry a rich man? Right? Because dang it, like the struggle is different when your husband is rich, right? But also there was like these weird things that they've told us to look for, like look at his shoes, how clean are his shoes? Look at his belts, look at his haircut, right? And in retrospect, none of those things mattered, honestly. I wish I would have known more to ignore his shoes, because so many men can live outside of their means and buy shoes that are way fancier than what their budget really is. And I'm grateful. And then to say, I did a lot of praying from the littles I can remember, about what my husband would be like.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that God lifted up and heard, like, the essence of my prayer was that I wanted somebody who could love me and forever, who I did audibly say, who my children could be proud of. Like, I wanted my kids to be able to look at their dad and be like, that's my dad. I'm proud of my dad. And I wanted my husband to have a strong Christian faith, because that's one thing that my dad didn't have. He didn't really love the Lord in a passionate way that I would have loved for him to love the Lord. And so even unknowingly, even though outwardly I was looking at shoes and haircuts and belts and things like that,
Yeah.
what my spirit was looking for over and over and over again was those things. And so I would just encourage a woman to just pray for her husband.
Yes.
Even if your prayer is
It works.
something silly as that he's rich. Because the Holy Spirit is incredible in that he will twist up your prayer anyway and put up what is most pleasing to God and what you really need. So just pray. Pray passionately, pray consistently for your husband. I mean, he meets so many of the things on my list that I was praying for, even aesthetically, right? But he didn't necessarily start there. I mean, he's got an incredible physique now. He didn't necessarily have an incredible physique when we first started dating. But like, those were deal breakers for me. And I remember when I'd be like, hey babe, can you lift a little here? Can I lift a little?
Yeah, she actually told me, hey babe, can you work on your calf muscles? I was like, my calves? Like, okay, all right, I'll work on my calf muscles. And now she likes my calves.
Yeah, I do.
And then she was like, can you make your chest a little bit bigger? And I was like, all right, I guess I'll do my bench press.
Yes.
But
I like that you discuss these things. Yeah, but I like that you discuss these things because we have to keep ourselves physically attractive to our spouse. We have to, it's important. Myself and Neil discuss this all the time because he's like, oh, I want to stay physically attractive to you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to stay physically. You have to discuss. And then we laugh about it, but we know we're serious. But we know it. You have to. So women, you have to discuss these things. It's not, and don't do it in a critical way.
No.
There's a way to do it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
And she was super, and like you said, do it in a laughing way. And she did it in a laughing way.
Yeah.
But I knew she was like serious about it. And I was like, all right, well, yeah, maybe I should focus more on my calf muscles instead of my quads.
Because he always used to look in really great shape, but it was a little imbalanced that you wouldn't see on yourself. You know?
Yeah, there's a way to say it. You can say, oh, your calf muscles are so sexy, or they're so whatever, you know, you should keep working on them, or something like that. Just say it with admiration, say it with a nice compliment. Your nose is too wide. You should go and get surgery or something. Because I have friends whose husbands have told them to get plastic surgery. Yeah. So yeah, that's not good at it. Yeah, I was going to tell you a story about an article I was reading the other day about a guy who's was he from? I think he was from Australia. So he's single, and he said when he was in Australia, the way they date is when he takes women out, they just talk about their hobbies, they talk about where they've traveled to and all of that. And it's very like, you know, informal, and it's just nice and it flows. He said since he got to America, he feels like every date is a job interview. He's like, why American women so materialistic? You know, he said they all want to know what car do you drive and where do you work? And where do that everything boils down to what you have, material things that, you know, I watched it on YouTube and I'm thinking this guy is actually right. America generally, I think, is quite materialistic. I think it's because it's so capitalist. But money is in everything. Money is in everything. Money is important, but it's not going to keep your marriage happy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I think so many marriages break apart because they weren't happy. They had all the money in the world, but they just weren't happy. So.
Yes, exactly. So let's go on to trust. Trust. And I want Michael to take this first because I get, as you guys know, I get a lot of messages from young women in their 30s or early 40s, younger than me, anyway, 20s. And there's always the problem with cheating and all, you know, all of that. So how, as a man, Michael, how do you enable Shantea to trust you? What do you do so that she doesn't feel like you're doing something else behind her back? And I'm talking about maybe talking to other women or maybe hiding money or something. What have you done to, you know, let her know that, you know, she can trust you?
You know what's funny? We actually have our YouTube channel. We have a series right now that we're doing called Pillow Talk. And we just talked about this the other day on how we both have each other's passwords to each other's phone, email addresses, and all that kind of stuff. I think
Okay.
that right there shows a lot of respect, and she's able to trust that I'm not hiding anything. And I think that's important in any marriage. If you can't trust your boyfriend or your husband, that when you, if she was to pick up my phone and I'm sitting there like that's an issue.
Yes.
And that should never be an issue in marriage or in a relationship.
Yes.
So it's important to number one, just be transparent with each other, and be open to what, if she has a question, be truthful. If I have a question, for her to be truthful. So yeah, but like that's one of the main things. And the other thing is just loving her, showing her that I'm there for her every day. If she needs something, I'm there for her. If the kids need something, we're both there for them. And spending that time together. Like I have no time. Like she keeps me busy enough to where I have no time to do anything else.
Yes. That's funny.
Yeah. But like I said, number one is just being transparent and being able to say, hey, yeah, here's my password, here's my phone. Do you need my? You can take my phone for the day. I'm not hiding anything.
So when are you guys going to start your show or something to help couples? Honestly, when are you going to start? Because couples like you are rare. Couples like you are rare. And I want to say this with all due respect, but you're rare in the Black community. So,
we talk about that. Yeah.
So, you're rare in the Black community. So when are you, I mean, I wish I could do that, but obviously my husband's European, so yeah, but you need to do that because men need to understand this, because I get messages all the time about women who say their husbands are hiding their cell phone, and they had 2 or 3 cell phones, and then they finally discovered one woman who just went through a divorce. She didn't even know that her husband had a child out of there's all sorts of stories. So you guys, and I know you're still on your path, but you honestly need to think about it, because that's what I do. I tell people not that I tell, but I see things in people that they should be doing to help the world. Like the other day that my friend Alexandria, my sister Alexandria, and I did the talk show, and I told her she had to do, we did an Instagram live, but you guys need to do a talk show, or I know you're on YouTube, but you need to do something, or maybe whether it's marriage school or something to help couples, because there's too many. And the sermon I listened to today online, Buckhead Church, my pastor, Andy Stanley, he talked about parenting and marriage. And he said that marriage, no matter what people say out there, the ideal situation for parenting and for kids is still marriage. Yes. It is still marriage. So we need people like you. Honestly, I wish, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm telling you, because I think that you'll change the world, because Black families and Black communities don't value marriage as they should. Yeah. So that's food for thought for you guys to consider.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. She did just say that we'll talk about it for sure. She we do have the YouTube series that we're doing, the Pillow Talk, but she also bought like a whole bunch of stuff for the podcast. Like I'm talking about microphones, VA, like everything. So
you're already planning it.
We haven't really planned it. We started as soon as we started doing the YouTube series. She just went on Amazon and went crazy. She was like, I'm getting all of this just in case we start doing a podcast. So I'm sure that's in the works.
Yes. And this is why I was attracted to you. I think this is why we're attracted to each other, because you're very driven. I can tell you, Shantea, you're very passionate. You're very driven, right? You're very ambitious. Yeah. So I don't my spirit always draws me to women like that. Alexandra is laughing because Alexandra, my friend who's a bag designer, my spirit always pulls me towards women like that who are very driven and really just want to change the world. So you guys need to do it, because I'm a pediatrician. And you don't want to know what I've seen with broken homes and kids going from one foster home to the other, to group homes, because parents just can't keep, and our kids are our future. So we have to make marriage important. So you guys, anyway, I'm getting too emotional and passionate now. Let me move on. Okay, so trust. So I want to make sure everybody got this. So men, if there's any men on here, even though I'm sure there's not many, probably only Michael, for your wife to trust you and vice versa, because women cheat too. So let's not say women cheat too. So men and women, for your wife or your husband to trust you, you guys need to share all your passwords and all your codes and just keep everything open. If you're hiding your phone when you're watching TV, then it means you have something to hide. So trust is very important in a marriage. If you're always suspecting your spouse and you're always thinking there's another man or there's another woman, it's going to break apart, right? Trust is like the foundation of a marriage, isn't it? So yeah, that's important. Michael, did you have a thought? I think you were going to say something.
No.
Okay. How do you keep your marriage fun? Because I see that you guys have a lot of fun. I can tell the way you're laughing, your body language, you're sitting close to each other. There's some couples where it's like, they're like 3 feet apart. No, you're pretending. But because I feel like fun and playfulness is so important in a marriage. So how do you consciously create fun for yourselves, or does it just come naturally?
I think it's intentional for sure, especially with as many children as we have. I think when we feel the most at each other, there are seasons where we are like, and so instead of going further apart, we are like, okay, we need a date night, which is the hardest thing to do, because if you can't stand somebody, you don't really want to spend more time with them by themselves. But we also know that we need sort of a time to recalibrate. We've gotten really good the last couple of years at making sure that we spend at least, in fact, my mom started watching the kids for an entire week. And so then we spend a week together, and that's always really nice because we forget how much we don't talk a lot, because normally we're talking about the kids, or we're
doing something with the kids.
To-do list. Can you brush that kid's hair? I'll brush this kid's teeth, whatever it is, and so I think it's very intentional. I wish we could say that we're just like wake up and we're having so much fun. No,
it's not always.
Yeah,
but I would say it is. We have more fun, more so than not. Yeah.
Okay, good. So do you help each other with chores? Do you plan? Sure. Does everybody know which chores they're doing, or you just kind of?
No, we just do it. Like, but what I've started to realize, especially having 4 kids, we're not going to get every single chore done. So sometimes we'll wash clothes, but the clothes won't always get folded. Sometimes the kitchen is not going to get cleaned every single night.
Tell me more.
See, she loves this because I'm the type like I want to clean the kitchen every single night. Like I came home from work. I came home from work a day or two ago.
But the dishwasher is broken.
No, but you wash it by hand then. So our kids are old enough to where they are able to help out now.
Yes,
but
good.
a lot of times when I get home from work, my first hour or my first hour and a half, I'm cleaning up. Because
you can sit down. Nobody tells you to get to work when you walk in the door.
I know, but I like the house.
The house will never be clean enough for him. Because you know how when you like walk in the door and you've got fresh eyes? So you see much more junk than the people who've been living in it. Now, when he's gone, I'm in the house for 2 straight days with 4 children by myself.
And 2 of them can do everything.
So
when he's gone, where? Like when he's traveling?
When he's at the fire station.
So the way that my schedule is, I work 2 days in a row, and I'm gone for the full 2.
So they're alive. They're alive. There is clean counter space somewhere on the counter. Most of the time, dishes are done.
It might be a spot this big, this clean.
Yes.
And he'll walk in the door and start washing dishes, and I'm like, your children miss you. Play with the kids. Like the dishes will be there.
But my brain, my brain just, and I've always been like that. So
normally, like the hour before he comes home, because you can't keep a house clean before children. Even if I clean it the night before, in the morning when they wake up, it's a nightmare.
The reason why I looked at you like that,
sweating, yelling at children, put that right,
I just love you
So,
guys.
so we have the Amazon Alexa, right? And in the Amazon Alexa, it sends a message to my phone, and it sends a message to her phone on whatever is being translated across the house.
Yes.
So, like, when I'm on my way home from work in the morning, sometimes I'll see the Amazon Alexa message, and I'm like, oh, she's fussing at the kids to clean up right now.
It's like a bad spring because it's never clean enough. It's never clean enough.
Yeah.
I just love you guys because you don't take life too seriously. You have fun.
It didn't start this way. If you were a couple, a young couple just getting started, we did not start here.
No.
Like, we're laughing now, but I would say year one, this was not a funny topic. Like, we were not laughing about.
So you keep, but Shantia, you keep saying you didn't start off that way. So tell us what it is that has made you be able to stick together, even though you didn't start off that way.
Well, because we just keep talking about it. Like, we just keep saying we have to agree to disagree. We just have to agree to disagree. Like, you think the house should be spotless. The reality is I'm doing everything in my power to keep the house as clean as possible. So we're just have to meet in the middle. So either we can laugh, or you can keep being mad that every time you get off work, there's dishes in the sink. Like, it is what it is. I'm doing everything in my power. And if all you want to think about, like, there could be like crisp lines on the carpet. But if all you want to see is dishes, like, then I gotta laugh.
Yeah,
right?
most of the time I come home now, I just put my hand on my head, and I'm like, all right, let me
just breathe.
Yeah, let me breathe. I'm gonna go hang out with the kids.
Dishes.
Yeah, and we'll do the dishes later.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys truly love each other. You guys truly love each other. I think that's what it is. You love each other, and you know that this is forever. So no matter what happens, you're like, we're just going to sort it out. We'll laugh about it, but we know this is forever. And that's crucial, right? You see, I told you that time goes by so fast. What time is it? It's almost time. So now can both of you give the singles out their tips, please? Because I don't want this to only be about married couples. So you've given us many things about marriage. Please, the women and men that are single, what should they be looking for so they can have a marriage like yours?
I think you should be looking for, first of all, I hope you love Jesus.
The what?
I said, first of all, I hope you love the Lord. And I think you should be looking for a man who loves the Lord. Because there's nothing like when you disagree and you can pray about it and take something to a mediator who is not you. There's nothing that we're doing on our own strength. And if I was the only one praying and he was never praying, our marriage would be dead. And so I think first and foremost, you better figure out what your relationship with God is and find somebody, like the Bible says, equally yoked. Find somebody who has that same energy towards the Lord. If you are like a Jesus freak, you better find a Jesus freak. If you are like, I could take him or leave him, then that's who you better find, because it's so important, I think, for that to be a starting point. I think it's so hard when you're trying to convince someone to go to church on Sunday or to do a different religion, or like that to me is baseline.
Yes.
Everything else is going to change. Like, even if he had a six-pack and he does still, that may change in 30 years. So I cannot let this whole marriage be hanging on the fact that he's ripped, because that's going to go nowhere. But if I can hang it on the fact that we both love the Lord and we can continue to grow in that, then we can be unstoppable. That's what
let me interject with that, though. And I do get that. I understand perfectly. But there are many people who say they love the Lord and they say they're Christian and all of that and all of that. And they go to church 4 times a week and they're still not good people. So I see that repeat. Oh yeah, I see that repeatedly. That happens a lot. There's a lot of Christians who go to church 4 times a week and all that, and they're the biggest cheaters. And they don't help their wives, or they're the ones beating up their wives. So
I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I think what I would say
we'll talk about that on the next show we do. We'll talk about that. But I do see that, so we do have to dissect that and help women, because if we just tell women or men, look for somebody who loves the Lord, but they say they love the Lord. Yeah.
Listen to your spirit early. Yeah. Because your spirit will tell you. Your spirit will tell you, even if you haven't seen him cheat. Your spirit's going to tell you if that man's a cheater.
That's true.
So, but you got to be open to hearing that. because sometimes it's not fun. I mean, I think about how many men that I prayed that God would make that man the one, and God didn't make that work out. But at the end of the day, I did feel it in my spirit that that probably wasn't the right guy, even though it's not fun. When you know, this guy meets all your checklists and he's, you know, this millionaire already and all the things. You're like, no, God, this is, but you have to listen to your spirit. You know.
You can't be like,
you're right.
He beats me up, but he has some nice Jordans on. Yeah. You got
But it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. So, okay. We can dissect that more later. You're right. And then
you're right.
I would say look for your best friend. That would be my advice. Somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can share any information with, and somebody who you like truly know. And I think you have that best friend, you can look in the future, because most friendships, like best friends, never break apart. So if you keep that in mind, I think that will make your relationship last a long time.
That's true.
Look for your best friend.
True. Anything else? We have like 2 minutes, and then I'm going to end this because everybody's telling me I must save this life. So if I don't save this life, I'm going to be in trouble.
I love it.
So, yeah, just give us one more each for the single women out there. One more nuggets or gem or advice.
I would say the last advice I would give a single woman is you're worth the wait. You're worth it. Don't ever cut yourself short. Don't ever think that you're not enough. Don't ever think that there's not enough men, because you just need one, right? And I think that the second we start cutting ourselves short, without really taking a critical look of ourselves, because if you're of a mature age and you're still single, there might be some self-reflection that needs to be happening too.
Yes.
But also,
yes,
know that you are enough. But reflect and look. And if people are if your best friend's telling you you're bossy and mean, then you probably should listen to her too.
Yeah.
True. That's true. That's very important. If everybody's saying this thing about you, then you should know. Yeah. You're right. Yes.
And my answer was similar to hers. As a man, put your pride aside and reevaluate who you are often. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of men like so prideful, their ego gets in the way, and it's like, for me, I had to put aside that I want the house clean every day. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I was like, all right, you know what? Let me reevaluate. Like, what is this gonna look like, and like how, like, why make that much pressure on her when I'm gone for 2 or 3 or 4 days, or however many days I'm at work? So that was just one thing that I had to get used to, and I'm like, all right, you know what? This is probably not going to get done. So let me not focus on that so much.
That was a good.
Okay. Okay. I love you guys. Honestly, I do. Keep doing what you're doing. Do that show. Open that online school for married couples. Please, please, please do it. We have to talk, Shantia, because you have to make this happen. Thank you so much. Everybody, can you please give the McIntyres a round of applause. Thank you so much. I'm going to have
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, thank you. And long life and many, many more years of happiness for you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. And you
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.